Greetings, Earthlings. I have another update from the Absurdium for you. Now, while in the UK you may be sucking up BBC's Israeli propaganda engine, should be called the BBC, pun intended, some other news outlets are still reporting what's actually going on, and I'll have to say that Sky News in the UK is trying to remain balanced and actually report the news. So if you want to have some sense of what's going on in the UK, you might want to switch to Sky News. But I thought I'd report on something from Al Jazeera, 9th of February. And this is just another indication of the lack of respect that the IDF have for human life in any form. The Israeli military has expanded its assaults in the occupied West Bank, killing 2 women, one of which was 8 months pregnant, during a raid in the Palestinian territory's Nur Shams refugee camp. The troops opened fire on a Palestinian family at the camp, killing Sondos Jamal, Mohammed Shalabi, and critically injuring her husband, the Palestinian Ministry of Health said in a statement on Sunday. The ministry said medical teams were unable to save the 23-year-old woman's fetus because the Israeli military prevented them from transferring the injured couple to a hospital. In a separate statement, the military said that a 21-year-old woman, Rahaf found Abdullah al-Ashqa, was also killed by the Israeli forces in her home. Now, it's bad enough that they killed a pregnant woman, but then preventing the medical services from coming to save the unborn baby. As I'm unfortunately not surprised by this, because I've read Ilan Pappé's The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine, and you know that they've never had any regard for human life. They'll gladly shoot babies and laugh at the family, and then when one woman falls to her knees to hold the child, they'll shoot her in the head and then laugh at the husband. Okay, this is nothing new. They have a long list of atrocities, and if you read Ilan Pappé's The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine, you will have your eyes open to just how barbaric these monsters are and who the monsters really are. And the coverage of the prisoner exchange, as the BBC tried to go, oh, look at how emaciated the Israeli captives are. Yeah, because there was a fucking siege on the Gaza Strip for 15 months. So guess what? Some of the hostages ain't going to be getting fed very well, are they? Depending upon where they were being kept. And then I'm going to say, oh, they were taunted by Hamas. Really? Well, the Palestinian prisoners were tortured if they wouldn't recite the Torah. They were forced to watch a 3-minute video of the destruction of Gaza before they were released. They were also forced to wear bracelets with offensive and threatening messages on them. And 7 Palestinian prisoners were admitted straight to hospital upon release. Their conditions were that bad. And you want me to cry for some Israeli hostages being taunted? Like, really? And they didn't eat well. Well, then stop preventing the food from going in, which they're still doing, by the way. And that brings me on to my next point. 4 more people have been killed in Gaza City since the ceasefire, which now brings the total to 110 killed during a ceasefire. They're also preventing tents, temporary housing, and heavy equipment in, so they can't dig the bodies out of the rubble. Benjamin Netanyahu is now trying to change the nature of the agreement and has refused to let his negotiating team in Doha have permission to move to the next stage, which has drawn the ire of the hostage families. He's now saying that there will be no deal unless Hamas leaves the strip. Well, then who's going to hand over the hostages? And Mike Huckabee has waded in by saying that Hamas actually has to be completely destroyed. So I think we can safely say that stage 2 is not going to happen. Stage 2 of that negotiation has been designed to fail. It ain't happening. And they won't let more humanitarian aid in Okay, there was a brief surge at the beginning, but now we're back down to them preventing aid trucks from going in. And they won't allow the heavy machinery to go in to allow them to dig out the bodies from the rubble, because we know damn well that there are mass graves peppered all over Gaza. And God knows how many more that will add to the death toll. And speaking of the death toll, I do wonder if Trump has been briefed by the ODNI. He keeps citing a 1.7, 1.8 million figure. That's off by 500,000. So don't be surprised if the death toll absolutely skyrockets. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.